want to just graph out a hay for you because I think it's interesting to note. If we set up a graph where we call this the physical axis, and we have our spiritual axis going up, so a hay would have what component physically and what component spiritually. So the physical component of a hay is a daled, and daled is a value of 4. So let's go out here, 4. That would be our daled. And it has a spiritual component of a yud, so that would be the 10th letter of the alphabet. So let's go up the spiritual axis 10. That would be a yud. If we could plot the intersection of where the spiritual and the physical meet, when the spiritual comes down and affects the physical, that would create a area of intersection of the physical and spiritual here, which would have a value of 40, right? From high school, that would be length times height, which is 4 times 10. 40 is the letter mem. Now, the spiritual impacting the physical, which is the change that results from the combination of the two, would be creating the concept of a mem. Mem in Torah Hebrew is a letter of change, meaning mem in Hebrew grammar would be causative or an intensifier. What are examples? When you use a mem as a prefix, so the word shavar means broken. If you put a mem that's an intensifier, it's causational in front of it, so meshaber means to smash it. That's how you'll break it. Or a davar is a word, like somebody gives a davar Torah. Davar is a word, but you put a causational mem in front of it, and a medaber is a communicator, somebody who can use words to communicate an idea. So mem is a letter that represents the idea that there's a change that results from the spiritual impacting the physical. And that's why there's so many 40s in the Torah, right? When there's a new spiritual flow coming into the world because the physical world's become so corrupt, it rains for 40 days and 40 nights. And when the Jewish people go from the corruption in the land of Egypt to the spiritual existence on a higher level of getting to the land of Israel, it takes them 40 years to get there. And when Moshe goes up on Mount Sinai to bring the Yud of Torah down into the Dalet of the physical world, he's up there for 40 days and 40 nights. And the Talmud says that when a fetus goes from a mass of cells to getting that higher level flow of a neshama into it, a soul, it happens on day 40 after the egg is fertilized. So 40s in Judaism represent a flow of spirituality coming down, impacting the physical world and causing a change, which allows us to do some very easy Hebrew words to see how they're spelled. For example, the word for a father is an av. So why would Hashem spell a father aleph beit? So in the early stages of the Hebrew alphabet series, we saw aleph was the letter that represents God's oneness, and beit was the letter of connection or relationship. So the job of a father is to take godliness and create a connection of that godliness into the home. He is a flow, a pipeline of aleph connecting into the home, because a man is a transmitter. So that's what the father's doing, bringing that godliness into the house. But a mother is spelled aleph mem. It's the word aim. And aim is a mother. So why would Hashem spell the word for mother aleph mem? Because her job is to take God's oneness and make sure that as a result of that godliness, there's a change in the home, because she's the side of expression. So she's taking the physical and spiritual and expressing that out so that the home reflects whatever godliness is being brought in there. So the side of change is the word for mother, godliness creating a change in the home. And that's why if you reval the word for mother, you get the word im, which means if, meaning it's on the feminine side that says, well, if we do it this way, this results. And if we do it that way, that results. So look at the book of Genesis, Bereshit, and you'll see that oftentimes the patriarchs are trying to give over a pipeline of Torah theory, but the matriarchs are saying, well, if we do it this way, this will happen. If we do it that way, that will happen. And that's why the matriarchs are often stepping in and saying, okay, there's got to be a change here. For example, Abraham loves everybody, but Sarah says, Yishmael's got to go. He's corrupting Yitzchak. So there's the godliness being expressed out as a change in the home as opposed to Abraham's chesed. I love everybody. I don't want to throw anybody out. And same for Rivka, Yitzchak's wife. Yitzchak brings a pipeline of theory that the firstborn gets the extra bracha, extra inheritance. And his wife says, yeah, but Esav, who's the firstborn, is corrupt. If we give him that extra bracha, he'll destroy the Jewish people. So the change, the if side, if we do it your way, it'll be a disaster, is really happening on the feminine side. The matriarchs are spotting that. The patriarchs tend to just be pipelines for theory. So there's a couple of easy words based on these letters of the alphabet that we've done so far, and we'll stop over here.